So, first of all, Happy New Year. Welcome to the
Sure.
first class of 2022. And for today's class, as usual, we're gonna need some blocks or something similar, like big textbooks or water bottles. And if this is the first time practicing with me, make sure you have something like a blanket or couch pillow, especially if you have sensitive knees. We'll need them at some point to give our physical body some support. And once you gathered all those stuff, those props that you need to do the practice, come into Sukhasana, cross-leg sitting with, I would say, if your body go naturally with one leg to the front, switch it around so you put the unfamiliar leg to the front. You can prop yourself on a folded blanket or a couch pillow, so you're not putting too much attention on keeping your spine upright. Bring your hands down onto the knees or somewhere that's not distracting for you. And gather your start cast your gaze down onto the ground. You can soft your gaze on a steady point. You can also start gradually close eyes. And relax the shoulders, relax the face. If you're noticing any tension that rising up in your body, take a deep, deep breath out. And today's practice is going to be most postures we are familiar with. And it was intended that way so we can stay in a familiar posture to make more space for alignment with our intention for practice tonight. So this might be a good opportunity for you to set your intention for tonight's practice if you haven't done so. Can be small, can be big. You can stay in this seated breathing meditation, and I'll guide through some breathing practice. And to start, bring your hands to your low belly. Long inhale. Imagine your body as a vessel and you fill up your vessel with water by breathe in. And exhale, let everything smoothly out. And bring hands onto the rib cage gently. No added pressure. Long inhale. And exhale, let everything fall back. And last part, bring the hands onto the chest. Long inhale. Let the chest rise into the hands. And exhale, Release everything out. We'll stringify that 3 parts into each cycle. So bring the hands back to low belly, breathe in 1/3. Briefly pause, hands on the rib cage. Another 1/3 in. Pause, and the hands on the chest. Finish the rest. Then everything smoothly, linearly out. We'll do it together with a shorter pause in between each 1/3. Inhale 1/3 into the low belly. Another 1/3 into rib cage. And finish the last 1/3 into the chest. And exhale, let everything out. You can continue on your own. You can rest your hands back to your knees and just imagining that your hands are moving along with the breath. So imagine there's the tiniest gap between each 1/3 of your inhale. Just like when you're cooking a piece of tofu, you cut it into smaller cubes and you marinate it. So it gets flavored more efficiently and more evenly. If you're in this Diagar breathing practice, finish 2 more rounds on your own. And start inviting your natural breath coming back into you. If the breathing practice disturbs your intention, use a quiet moment at the end to realign with it. And once you're ready, get the hands in front of the heart and bow the head toward the heart. When you're ready, slowly blink open the eyes. If it's too much on your legs from the seated, you can extend the legs out and just shake the legs. You can also press the hands behind you and press the pelvis up into reverse table. Once you're done, come back into the cross leg. You can stay here and also bend your right leg, bring the right foot close to the left hip and cross the left leg over the right knee, come into a seated. If this is too much for you, you can extend the right leg straight. Bring the right elbow outside of left knee. Walk your left hand behind you. Flex the right foot if your right leg extended. If your right leg is bent, press your left sit bone into the ground. Gaze over the left shoulder. Inhale, breathe through the spine, reach your toe toward the sky. And exhale, rotate the rib cage toward the back of the space. One more long inhale. And exhale, come back to center. We'll switch to the right side. Bring the blocks if you have them. I would say keep the blocks medium height first, or high is the height. Then rest the elbows onto the blocks and chest facing the ground. If you do not have the blocks, you can just stay to the right side, stay onto the palms. Just create a different direction of twisting. There'll be way much more sensation if you come down onto the elbows. And going for sensation certainly is not our intention for tonight's practice. And next time, start slowly, walk yourself back up. Extend your left leg out, pull the left toes towards you. Bring the right foot into the left inner thigh. Bring the left hand inside of the left leg. Extend your right arm out. Flex your right hand. And release your left ear toward the left shoulder, getting some right neck stretch. So you listen to your body carefully here. If your body is asking for some neck stretch, you stay here and bend your body toward the left leg. If your body is calling for more right body stretch, right arm by the right ear. Inhale, breathe into the right fingertips. Exhale, twisting open the chest up toward the sky. One more long inhale. Next, let's start slowly come back to center. I'm going to do the other side. Before that, you can shake legs. You can go through one more round of reverse table. Then bend your left leg in. Bring the left foot close to your right hip. And cross your right knee over the left. Bring the left elbow. You can hug the right knee with the left elbow. If you have that, you can bring the left elbow outside of the right knee. Walk your right hand behind you. Keep pressing your right sit bone into the ground to be even with the left. Gaze through the right shoulder all the way to the back of the space. Inhale, reaching toward the sky to the crown of the head. Exhale, rotate the rib cage toward the right side, toward the back. One more long inhale. And exhale, start slowly turn your chest back to the front. Find the blocks again. Bring them to the left side if you have them. If you don't have the blocks, stay onto the hands. If you have the blocks, be nice to your physical body and start with the highest first. Then start lower it to a point that it's nourishing but slightly challenging. And I know this is the beginning of the year, so I'm gonna reiterate what I always say. When I mention option 2 through the practice, it truly means it's option. You're not missing out much if you do not go to a posture that does not work out for you today. And just slowly come up. Extend your right leg out. Bring the left sole into the right inner thigh. Bring the right hand inside the right leg. Extend your left arm out. I'll switch sides so you can see. And flex your left hand Release your right ear toward the right shoulder so you can get this nice left side of the neck stretch. And start slowly lower your body toward the right leg. Stay here if your body is calling for more neck stretch. If your body is calling for more sideways to stretch, you can extend your left arm by the left ear. Maybe one of our intention for 2022 is listen more carefully about what our physical body is looking for. Inhale to the left fingertips. And exhale, use momentum to come all the way up. Legs. Can pass through reverse table one last time. And we'll all meet in table pose. Hands right underneath your shoulders, knees right underneath your hips. Inhale, lower your belly, tailbones lift up, open the chest for cow pose. And exhale, press into the palms, round the upper back, cat pose. And flow in between with the pace of your breath. Option to adjust direction of your hands, palms. I like adding the fingertips to the knee to get some room. Flow slowly and steadily. Next time when you find your neutral, the table, tuck the back toes, walk the hands slightly forward, lift your tailbones up into downward facing dog. If this is the first down dog of yours today, bend to one leg and another. Also roll it into a high plank, then roll the tailbones back up into Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. If through tonight's practice, in any moment the downward facing dog does not work for you, come down, release your knees down, and press your hips toward the heels for child pose. Downward facing dog, roll your biceps toward the front, press your chest toward the thigh bones, keep some micro bend in the back of the legs. And step your left foot to the left thumb. Gently release your right knee down. If you have a blanket and a really thin mat, take your time to spread the blanket across the mat so you can pad your right knee. If you do not have a blanket, you can slightly fold the right side of the mat in so you get more padding. Climb your hands onto the left thigh. Your right knee is behind your right thigh bone, so your right front hip is getting open. You can stay here. You can also raise up the arms for a classic low lunge. If we come in a classic low lunge, release the shoulders away from the ears so they're not being spiked up and your chest still opening. And also some mini micro bend by puffing your chest up toward the sky. Hugging the thigh bones toward the midline. And exhale, release both hands down. Walk your left hand slightly to the left side. And roll onto the pinky edge of the left foot. Use your left hand to gently press your left knee open. Raise your chest up. Make sure that you're releasing your right shoulder down toward the ground. Raise up the arms. Bring the left arm behind the skull to open the chest. An option to reach the left arm toward the back. Option to pull the right heel toward the right hip. Find between the left hand and the right heel. On the ceiling. If you have the bind, control slowly, let it go. And release your left hand down. Find the blocks, you have them. Keep your left foot slightly to the left side. Pull the chest forward. Next, so pin your left hip back. Straighten the left leg. Pull the left toes towards you. Ardha Hanumanasana, half split. Inhale, bend into the left leg, chest forward. Exhale, pin your left hip back. Flow like that with familiarity. So you can truly follow the pace of your breath. Next time when you're in half split, pause it for a moment. Option 2, rotate the whole left leg side to side. Activate the different part of the hamstrings. You can also choose to be still instead of exploration. Depends on what intention you set for today and how you decide to be aligned with your intention. The next time, bend into the left leg, step the right foot outside of the right hand. Sit your hips down into Malasana Yoga Squat. If this Yoga Squat is too much for you, slide a block underneath your sit bones and press your elbows into the thigh bones. Both knees open to the side, but try to close them into the elbows so there's a fight between the elbows and the thigh bones. Extend your left arm out, right arm up. Release the left ear toward the left shoulder. One long breath in. Exhale, come back to center. We'll do the other side. Right hand out, left arm up. And release the right ear toward the right shoulder. Come back to center. Hands down, lift your hips up, shimmy your shoulder distance, fold over the legs. Inhale, hands on the blocks or on the shin, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold over the legs. Bring blocks to tallest height in front of you, hands on the blocks, and sit your tailbones up into a supported chair pose, Uttanasana. Option to stay here. Option to raise up the arms by the ears. If you feel like your chest are closing in this chair pose, you can cactus the arms to create an opening of the chest. You can also raise up the arms even more and puff the chest up, then knit your ribs in. And come all the way up. Hand through heart center. And I'll raise up the arms up. Exhale, fold over the legs. Uttanasana, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, step left and right into a high plank. If you have sensitive wrist or wrist injuries, feel free to release your knees down for a knee plank. And from a plank, hug the elbow. Exhale, Still bend through the elbows. Come all the way out the elbows in. Lift the chest up, Bhujangasana, baby cobra. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Press on top of the feet. And exhale, release down to the ground. Let's do one more time. Inhale, lift the chest up. You can stay in this Bhujangasana. You can also straighten both arms, your knees on the upward facing dog. And on an exhale, roll your tailbones up, downward facing dog. And it's one cycle of vinyasa, and we're gonna revisit the flow later. And from downward facing dog, rock forward into a high plank, release the knees down, come back into table. Move to one side of cow and cat. And we'll tuck the toes and roll up your tailbones again. We'll do the other side. Step the right foot to the right thumb. Release your left knee down. You'll find the blanket again. If you do not have a blanket, fold the mat slightly in and rest your left knee down. Climb the hands on top of the right thigh. Create the foundation for the low lunge first. Make sure behind the left thigh bone to opening this left front hip. With as much support from the ground, still try to find a steady point in front of you to focus on. Option to come up into a classic low lunge by raising up the arms. Option to create some mini back bend, low lunge. If you're creating mini back bend, make sure that there's a curve that you're lifting your chest up and your pelvis lowering down, so there's no compression in your low back. There's two opposite forces. Release hands down. Walk your right foot slightly to the right side. Roll up onto the pinky edge of the right foot and use your right hand to gently push open the right knee. Long inhale through the spine. And exhale, rotate the chest, the rib cage up toward the sky. Breathe steady and slowly. Option to stay here, right arm. Bring the right hand behind the head. An option to reach the right hand back to the foot. An option to pull the left heel towards the left hip bone and perhaps create a binding between the right hand and the left heel. If you have the binding, carefully with control, let the left leg release. Release the right hand down. Bring the blocks be underneath your hands. Open the chest. Next, exhale, straighten the right leg, pull the right toes towards you. Inhale, low lunge with the right leg slightly out. Next, exhale, pin your right hip back. Straighten the right leg. A couple more rounds like that. And next time when you arrive into Manasana half split, stay there for a moment. Fold your chest towards the ground. You can sway your right foot side to side. You can pause in a point that's calling for you. From a long inhale. Next, so bend into the right leg again and step the left foot outside of left hand. Sit your hips down into Malasana. And press your elbows into the thigh bones. Press the thigh bones into the elbows. Extend the left arm out, right arm up. Option to stay here, option to flip your right palm and bring the right hand onto your low back. And also snake the right hand into left hip crease for a half bind. Option to wrap the left arm around the left knee. Hands together for a full bind. Release the left shoulder toward the left ear. Continue to press your right knee open. I'll turn around so you can see. And come back to center. We'll do the other side. Extend the right hand out, left arm up. Flip your left palm and bring the left palm onto the back or snake it into your right hip crease. Option 2, wrap the right arm around the right knee. Walk the hands together. Continue to press the left shoulder, left knee open. Release the right ear toward the right shoulder. For a full bind. Release the bind. Hands on the ground, tailbones up. Shimmy your feet to be shoulder distance. Fold over the legs. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, raise arms. Keep the hips low. Sukhasana, chair pose. As last round, if you like to cactus arms to keep the shoulders, keep the chest open, feel free to do so. And come raise all the way up, hand through heart center. And stay in this Tadasana for a bit. Use this quiet moment to realign your intention. And to think about how you can shun to the rest of the practice. What has been taking you away from that intention until so far? And we'll do some more. I'll guide you through 2 rounds before I send you on your own. And to start, raise up the arms. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, fold the legs. Step right and left, since we already did left and right first. Just try to balance it out into a high plank. You can also release the knees down for knee plank. Take inhale. And exhale, bend through the elbows. You can release all the way down to the ground. You can also, on the next inhale, pull your chest up directly into upward facing dog. Then exhale, push the tailbones up into downward facing dog. 3 to 5 rounds of breath here. No skip. Down dog does not work here. Come down to child pose. And if upward facing dog or Bhujangasana, baby cobra, does not work for you, you can also simply stay on your hands and knees and move through cow and cat. With downward facing dog, imagine there's someone hooking their arms around the front of the hip and lifting you up. In the meantime, evenly distributing weight into the palms, the knuckles. At the bottom of the next exhale, step back step or hop forward. Inhale, lengthen to the spine. Exhale, fold over the legs. Right all the way up. And through heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, Uttanasana. And exhale, step by step, and you can also bend through the elbows. Make sure your elbows are bent. And directly jump into Chaturanga Dandasana. Then inhale, pull the chest forward into upward facing dog. And we'll all meet downward facing dog. So the hop back into Chaturanga is only if you already experienced practitioner and your intention is seeking for space for growth. Otherwise, stick to step by step to the back to a plank. In the bottom, next exhale, step by step, a hop forward. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold over the legs. Rise all the way up. And through heart center, float 2 more rounds on your own in whatever format that you like to go with. And please choose a format that most align with your intention. And I'll be quiet so you have your own space. In case you're wondering if my mic stopped working. You're still flowing. Take your time. We'll all meet in Tadasana at the front of the mat. If you already arrived at the front of the mat, stay in that intentional Tadasana. Soften your gaze or even close eyes. Shift the weight around the 4 corners of the feet. Engage front of the legs. Pull the kneecaps toward the pelvis. And once you arrive at the front of the mat, start shifting weight onto the right foot, hugging the right outer hip in. Then step the left foot against the right leg. You can stay here. Option to raise up the left foot. Use the left hand to help to bring the left foot to right inner thigh. Continue hugging your right outer hip in. Press your right thigh bone into the sole of your left foot and the other way around as well. You can also use the left hand to guide the left knee to be open. If you decide to bring the hands to prayer in front of your heart, option to start raise up the prayer over the head. Tree pose, Vrikshasana. If you like to come to tree, but you don't have the balance yet, you can bring yourself to a wall and support your right hand onto the wall. From a long inhale. Next, I'll start slowly release your prayer in front of you. And cross the left ankle over the right knee. Sit into figure 4 pose. Option to stay here. Also, if you're bored, you can also bring the blocks the highest height and rest the hands onto the blocks. Option to bring the left elbow into the left foot. Twist your left hand with your right hand and twist to the right side. And start slowly. Release yourself on it. And keep your left foot at the front and take a big step with your right foot to the back. Spin down your right heel and cover your arms up into a warrior 2. Extend both arms out. Gaze over the left hand, left fingertips. Imagining your right hand floating just as high as the left. Into the left leg. And press into the pinky edge of the right foot and the right heel. And flip your left palm, reverse your warrior. Put your left hand far to the back of the space. An option to straighten the left arm leg. Give it a release. Bend your left elbow, bring the left hand behind the head. Open the chest toward the sky. And come all the way up to the center. Move the right foot slightly in. And reach your left hand to the front to a sticky point that you cannot go further anymore. One more long inhale. And exhale, start slowly. Release the left hand on the left shin, left ankle, or on the ground, on the block. You choose a place you like to land your left hand to. And right arm up. Sukhasana, triangle pose. Hugging the left outer hip in. Rotate your right chest up. Then bend into the left leg. Release the left hand onto the ground if it hasn't been so. Side angle. Option 2, keep your right arm up. Option 2, bring the right hand behind the skull. Open the chest up. Stay here. If you like to move towards the pose, walk your left hand or left hand with the block far away from you. Drag the right foot. Lift it up. Helping you that you're stomping the right heel onto it. Open the chest up toward the sky. Standing strong to the left foot, hugging the left outer hip in. Slowly hand your foot down. Walk yourself to the right side. Bend into the right leg, straighten the left leg. We'll switch in between. Next time, parallel the feet, straighten both legs and fold the legs. You're folding over the wide legs and you do not like your head hanging. You can bring a block or two blocks underneath the forehead to catch the weight. Feel the stretch behind the legs, stretch of the outer hips. And start walk yourself back to the front. Walk to the side, to the front of the mat. Actually, we're gonna use it again. And step your left foot to the back into a high plank. Knees up or down, bend through the elbows. Inhale, back bend of your choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step by step, a half forward. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Now exhale, fold all the legs. Rise all the way up. And exhale, hand through heart center. We'll do the other side. Bring the weight onto the left foot. And lean your right heel onto the left leg. You can stay here for this supported tree pose. You can also raise up the right foot. Bring the right foot to the left inner thigh. Hug the left outer hip in. Press the left thigh bone into the right foot. Hand through heart center. You can also do a half prayer and the right hand guide the right knee to open. Option to raise up your prayer for a classic trip. Let both sides of the waist to grow. Press strongly into the left foot. It's okay to wobble. If you need support, you can bring yourself close to the wall and rest your left hand onto the wall for support. So bring the prayer down in front of you. And cross the right ankle over the left knee. If you have the blocks in front of you, you can rest the hands onto the blocks. And also rest the hands onto the right knee. You can also keep it as a prayer. Option 2, hook the right elbow to the bottom of the right foot, twist the right hand, and blanket with your left hand, twisting to the left side. And slowly come out of the posture. Keep the right foot at the front, step with the back. Spin down your left heel. Up into a warrior 2, re-rub adjustment 2. Bend into the right leg. Press into the pinky edge of the left foot. Gaze on the right fingertips. Reaching the right fingers toward the front and reach the left fingers toward the back. Flip your right palm. Reverse your warrior. Rest your left hand on the left thigh. Right arm by the right ear. Inhale, reach through the right fingertips. Let the right side body grow. Exhale, straighten the right leg. Bend your right elbow, bring the right hand behind the skull. Turn your chest for the sky. And come back to center, open the arms. Shimmy your left foot slightly in. Long inhale, reach your right hand toward the front. to stick point that you cannot go further. Next, slowly with the pace of your exhalation, place your right hand on a block or on the ground directly. Keep your left arm up. Your side bending to the right side, but keep making sure there's not too much compression in your right hip. Hugging your right outer hip in, the left outer hip in. Are you still aligning with your intention? Bend through the legs. Release your right hand down onto the ground if it's not there yet. Side angle. Option 2, bring the left hand behind the skull and open the chest up. If you like to come into half moon on this side, walk your right hand with or without a block far away from you to the front. And start lifting, straighten the right leg and lift the left leg up. Just now, half moon. In half moon, make sure you still rotate the left shoulder, left chest open. Imagine there's a wall behind you, stomping the left heel on. Standing strong through the right leg, hugging the right outer hip in. And so slowly, walk yourself to the left side, bend into the left knee, straighten the right leg, and bend into the other. Skandasana. Option 2, bring the hands into prayer when you switch side to side. And whenever you're ready, parallel the feet, follow the legs. From that folding, walk your hands to be underneath your face. Straighten the arms, lengthen through the spine. Walk your hands together, touch your thumbs. And lift up your left arm up. Keep your chest down toward the ground, but lift your left arm up. Come along, inhale. And exhale, release the left hand down. We'll do the other side. Lift up your right arm. And release your right hand down. Walk yourself back to the front, bring the blocks to the side. Step the right foot back. Come into a high plank or knee plank. Last vinyasa. Inhale. Next, bend through the elbows. Hug the elbows in. Inhale. Chest forward, back bend of your choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, lift up your right leg. Open the right hip, pressing firmly into the right hand so you're not shifting all the weight into the left side. Your chest still facing toward the ground. You can do some big circles to the right knee. And then bring the right knee behind the right hand. Right foot behind the left hand. If you have blanket, fold it into kind of like a soft brick. And bring that blanket, a couch pillow, underneath your right hip. We're gonna be here for a little bit long, so get yourself comfortable first. If this half pigeon does not work for you, you can also come down onto your back, cross the right ankle over the left knee. Stay here. You can also hug the knees towards the chest for figure 4 on the back. Either way will give you a nice outer hip stretch. If you're in half pigeon pose, once you get comfortable, start slowly lower down to the elbows. And stack the hands on top of each other, then rest the forehead on top. About 5 cycles of long breath here. Start invite your natural breath coming back to you. We're winding down our practice, our physical practice. Oftentimes when it's quiet, all kind of thoughts and planning might rush into our head. Instead of going with them, see if you can make some space and stay close to your intention in this half pigeon through the rest of the practice. So if you, some of the options, the first option is you can continue stay in this half pigeon. If you like to try something else, you can come up, walk with the hands. Another option I like to offer is the right elbow onto the sole of the right foot. Twist your right hand, flank it with the left hand, and twisting the left side. This is my second option that I'm offering tonight. My last one is create a bind. We briefly tried earlier. You can grab the left foot with the left hand, right hand on the ground. You can also raise it up forward. If you want to enhance the bind into mermaid pose, hook the left foot into the left elbow, the right hand behind the head, then hook the fingers into mermaid. So choose carefully which option you'd like to go for. If none of those works for you, you can stay in half pigeon or figure 4 on the back. Choose the one that is the closest to your intention of the practice today. And we'll all meet in downward facing dog. Step the right foot back. Step the left foot forward. Release the right knee down so we can reopen the front hip, right hip. And we'll do the other side. Before we do the other side, use this low lunge moment to reflect what has drifted away from your intention and last aside. Without judgment, simply observation. And once you're ready to decide, you simply bring the left foot behind the right hand, left knee behind the left hand, You move the blanket or the couch pillow. Some people use block, but it might be too hard. And get your foundation comfortable and steady first. If you're on the back in the figure 4, switch side, left ankle over the right knee, and bring the knees close to the chest. And once you get comfortable in this pigeon, half pigeon, lower down to the elbows. Stack the hands together, switch the stack this time, and rest the head on top of it. About 5 cycles of long breath here. And sit quietly with your intention. And after 5 cycles of long breath, you can choose to stay in this half pigeon. Also support yourself, come up onto the hands. And bring the left elbow onto the left foot. Fix the left hand, flank it with the right hand, and twist it to the right side. And if you like to try a bind, pull the right heel towards you first and grab the right ankle with the right hand, left hand on the ground or to the front. And if you like to proceed to mermaid pose, hook the into the right elbow and bend your left elbow behind you, hands. If you're in figure 4 on the back, release your legs straight. If you're in mermaid pose, release the bind. If you're in the twist to the right side, release from it. And we'll all meet in downward facing dog. And step the right foot to the front. We'll do low lunge one last time to release the tension build up in the left front hip. And once you're ready, come all the way down to the back. Bring a block with you. Actually, bring all the props with you so you don't have to come back up again. Bring the feet close to the hips. Elbows by the side and point your fingertips towards the sky. If this does not work for you, you can also press the palms into the ground. Then ripple your pelvis up then your low back, your upper back, into a bridge pose. If you crave for more chest opening, you can clasp the hands underneath your hips and roll up onto the shoulders. If you feel the active bridge pose does not match your energy level at this moment anymore, you can slide a block underneath your sacrum for supported bridge pose. Just let the chest open, the pelvis be open. Whenever you're ready to come out, if you have the block underneath the sacrum, remove the block and slowly release everything back to the ground. Hug the knees into the chest, roll around on the back. Grab the feet with the hands and pull the knees into the armpit. Ananda Balasana, happy baby pose. You can stay in this happy baby pose for a couple more cycle of breath. If you have any other postures you'd like to include in your practice today, use this a minute or so. I do suggest to go for something that's symmetric, so you can leave more time for your Shavasana. When you feel ready to rest, spread the legs, spread the arms out. Because it is cold weather, so if you have the blanket nearby, bring the blanket over your whole body or over the pelvis to make it a little bit more grounding. You can also bring a pillow underneath your head. Whenever you're ready, sink your back body into the space beneath you. Once again, relax the shoulders, relax the face. Close the eyes, perhaps. Sharasana. And stay where you are or along Shavasana. Come sit quietly with me for a little bit longer. Roll yourself onto one side and support yourself into a comfortable seat. Bring your hands to somewhere that's undistracting. And use this last little bit of quiet moment to reconnect with your intention. The intention that you can walk off the mat and apply it to your daily life. And think about how you managed to keep your practice close to intention tonight and keep that experience with you. A couple more cycle of long breath. And just let the breath guide you into a meditative state. Use the sound of breath to guide you back to your natural state. Lead you out of the practice. So you come out of it gradually and naturally, instead of jumping and rushing into it. If that resonates just for you, get the hands in front of the heart and bow the head toward the heart. Thank you so much for practicing with me tonight. Wish you a great, great New Year. When you're ready, slowly open the eyes.